Chapter 8. Mom has breast cancer? Amber, come in here. I need to talk to you, my mother called out to me when I was getting ready for another day of 6th grade. Uh-oh. I entered her bedroom hesitantly. Even though it was morning, the curtains were drawn, and her room was only illuminated by one small nightstand lamp. Mom's face was colorless and melancholy. She asked me to sit down. I cautiously sat on the corner of the bed, close to the door. She looked at me very matter-of-factly and said, "I'll be dead before you get home." She spoke as if she were telling me about the day's weather. My heart slammed into my mouth. I didn't know what to think. The room began to spin. "I have breast cancer," she said. She lifted up her nightgown to expose her right breast. "See?" she asked, taking my hand and rubbing it against her lower breast. Extremely discomfited. "Do you feel that lump?" I didn't feel anything but extreme uneasiness. My mother was never shy and had strolled around the house buck naked before. But as she pushed my fingertips back into her nipple, it was over the top. I pulled my hand away and stared at her bedspread, the pillows, anything but her face. I was speechless. This isn't the typical suicidal threat. Is this real? It would be insanity to lie about something so traumatic, and her performance was so sincere, I believed her. She had totally brainwashed me. She walked slowly to her closet, slightly bent over as if she were in physical pain. Every now and then she would cough, sounding like a newborn baby. "Try this on." A shirt shot through the closet. Clothes that Mom knew I liked continued to fly out of the closet door. She called me in the small closet. She told me that because she would be dead soon, she didn't need them. It was dreamlike as she continued, sometimes pressing blouses against my chest for size. I couldn't handle the situation anymore. Superman. And completely broke down. "I don't want your clothes. I want you, Mom." I collapsed to the closet floor, crying. She picked me up in a sympathetic, consoling manner and began to gently stroke the back of my hair. "I know, baby, I know." It was so bizarre and terrorizing, yet somehow I went to school. I had to go. I couldn't stay in the house. Needless to say, I couldn't focus on anything but the image of my mother at home, dead in her bed, cold, bloated, and alone. Do I tell a teacher? If I did, I would be punished like my brother was. That unwelcome, small voice of my subconscious nagged me all day. "She's going to die. You will be to blame." I was so terrified to go home that afternoon. I was sure I would discover her lifeless body upstairs just as she'd promised. But school ended, and I found myself staring at our front door. I twisted the round brass knob of the front door a half turn and pushed gently. "Mom?" I called out tentatively, voice cracking, but there was no answer. I knocked my skateboard gently against the door, as if on accident, in order to create some noise. Still no response, so I stepped inside. I flinched when I saw feet beginning to descend down the stairs. It was Mom. She wasn't a zombie. She wasn't dead. "Hi, how was your day?" She was showered, dressed, and pretending nothing had happened that very morning. I stood there, mouth hanging open. I was dumbstruck, and so confused I briefly questioned myself. Was it me? Did this morning actually happen? Or did I imagine or dream it? She and a group of friends decided to get high on the porch that night. Suddenly, she felt like a happy partier. I realized that she had threatened suicide. In some way, she did expect to be dead before I got home. Any guilt I felt regarding my sick mother had been planted, watered, and tended to by her. I didn't understand the concept of suicide, or why anyone would want to try to take his or her own life. A rational mind doesn't understand an irrational mind, especially at my young age at the time. I realized I couldn't help her. I couldn't fight the manic crazy with crazy, for that was the hood of her disease. She, it, always won. All I wanted to do is to get away from her, far, far away from her. The guilt about how I sometimes felt about her was terrible, but I didn't tell anyone. After a couple of years, the apartment hopping caught up with Mom, and we were evicted again. I can't take much more of this.